or a great holiday weekend. We'll work off that extra helping of turkey or stuffing or pie or all of the above this morning. Just a little kind of side note related to our practice this morning. There's tons of garbage, as we all know, on TV. But my wife and I have been watching this show called Our Universe. And it's kind of like the Planet Earth, type shows, but it's on a much larger scale, narrated by Morgan Freeman, which is always really cool. But we've been winding down our day with it, and it's just a reminder and just a really amazing perspective of how tiny we are, yet all part of something that is just this massive cosmic scale. It's just crazy that we're all made up of the same energy as what makes up our sun and the stars and the grass and the birds and the trees and the ocean, and that we're all just connected together as part of this large, massive scale. And as humans, we get the privilege and the unique opportunity to figure out how we want to expend, consume, and put that energy back into the world. And so highly recommend it. Just check it out. Anything that can make you feel small and humble you a little bit and just sort of get you out of your head and let that ego dissolve a little bit is pretty amazing. So we'll tap into some of that energy today, or prana as we call it in yoga, and also just that perspective of kind of feeling tiny but connected to something at a large scale. So check it out. We're going to start in child's pose this morning. So whatever that shape is for you, for child's pose, when I first started doing yoga, I was like, this is not fun, or it feels good. So you can always have knees together in child's pose as well. You can just kind of sink in and grab your heels, so more of a small child's pose. If you're feeling like you're ready to start cracking open a little bit, bring those soles of the feet together, toes together, start working those hips back, knees nice and wide, and just start to settle into whatever shape you can be in for, say, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And just start to let the weight of your body draw you down and connect you to the earth. Start to connect with that prana, that energy, with your breath, drawing in through the nose. Feel that life force come into the body. Fill out through your torso, fill out through your belly and side ribs. And then exhale. Again, just let everything settle. Let that energy settle back into the earth, draw you down, ground you, and continue to just find that nice, easy rhythm of breath with each cycle, bringing a little bit more ease into the body, creating a little bit more space, letting that busy mind start to settle in, and just finding that rhythm. As you find that connection with the breath, let that be your internal guide throughout your practice this morning. Let it guide you in your movement. Let it guide you through transitions from pose to pose. And it'll let you know if you need to just slow things back down. We're all going to be at different paces this morning. We're going to kind of push ourselves a little bit. So whatever that means, if you need to skip a sequence or just take a little break, listen to that guide, follow along. Nice big breath in, fill up the belly, fill out the ribs, draw that breath into the back. Exhale, let it draw you back down. Feel that connection with the earth. Just releasing, observing any grip you're holding. The back of the jaw, relax the throat muscles, soften the brow. Just finding just a moment of stillness before we start to stir that energy and start moving the body. Your next exhale, just exhale everything out. Squeeze the belly, the low ribs down and in. So any stale, stagnant energy or breath you're holding expels from the body. And then a nice, slow inhale back in through the nose. Gently let that go. Slowly start to make our way up. just start to bring a little bit of movement into the hips there. So if you want to bring your knees a little bit more closer together so they're not so wide, bring the palms out in front of you underneath the shoulders, spread the fingertips nice and wide, and then just lean back, your hips back towards your heels. Then go ahead and lean forward out over your wrists, whatever degree that is, and then just circle around. So pulling the hips back in kind of a semicircle, one direction and then the other. Adding on any other movement. Make this practice your own this morning. Everything I cue is just a suggestion. Find the shape, works for your mobility, what you need this morning. Going both directions. Bring the knees back together. Let's go ahead and bring the hips side to side. So just rocking side to side. Feel that stretch go up through the hip into that IT band. Maybe you can even lower the hips all the way down. Maybe the knee comes up. That's okay on the hips. Find your range of mobility. Back and forth, back to the circle. Just getting everything opened up at one level. Then go ahead and bring everything back in line into tabletop position. So those knees lined up right under hips. Fingertips spread nice and wide. Just tap the tops of the feet, kind of loosen up the feet, wake up the anchors. Then go ahead and press down through the tops of the feet. Drop the belly down. Lift the tailbone up. Press into the mat. Lift up in the chest. Gaze is out over the mat. Big breath in. Draw that energy into the heart space. Then on the exhale, contract, moving with the breath. Draw the gaze down in towards the belly. Spread the shoulder blades apart, and then just rocking back and forth in that cat-cow. Belly down, tail up. Moving with the breath, with intention. Notice how that breath changes with the shape. One more cycle. Hands a little bit more forward and come into a plank pose. Go ahead and tuck the toes under one at a time. Press back through those heels. Kind of stretch out the calves. You can drop one knee down and then the other. Pressing into the mat. Lift up through your back. So it's pressing up out of the shoulders. Reaching forward with the crown of the head. Leaning over the wrist just a little bit more. And maybe dropping into a forearm plank. If you need to come down to the knees, you can go ahead and do that. So dropping down to the elbows. Keep the elbows sort of pulled in right under the shoulders. Press out through those heels. Lift up in your back. Try not to lift your tailbone up too much. Take a big breath in here. Stay here, or if you like, maybe start walking the feet forward. So we're coming into a dolphin pose. The head drops down. The gaze goes back towards the feet. If you need to drop down into the knees, take a little break. It's a little too much on the shoulders. Go ahead and do that. Big breath in here. And then just walk the feet back, coming into that forearm plank one more time. Pause here for a breath. Exhale, lower the knees down, lower the chest down all the way to the belly. Slide those elbows forward a little bit, coming into a Sphinx pose. Little rock side to side of those hips. Pressing down with the elbows. Lift up in your heart space. Pull your kneecaps slightly up in the ear. Press into the tops of the feet, and then pull your heart space through the shoulders. Go back, fire up. Keep breathing. Follow that guide. One more cycle. Exhale, let it all go. Slide those palms underneath the shoulders. Press up, back into tabletop, nice and slow. Maybe push back just to a little quick child's pose. Take those fingertips forward. Just a little counter bend to that back bend we just did. Big breath in here. Start to come back up. We'll tuck those toes. Take your time. Lift up in that tail. First downward dog of the practice. Make it a nice short dog. So maybe the feet come a little bit more forward so you can start to drop one heel down almost all the way. Stretch out those calves. Pull your heart space back toward your thighs to create a nice long spine. Keep those elbows drawn in. Nice big breath. Lift up in your tail. Lift up on your tiptoes. Heels come up. And then exhale. Let them come back down to whatever degree as you pull that heart space back. Deep breath in here. And then we're just going to walk towards the hands. Nice and slow. Up towards the top of the mat. Take your time getting there. Inhale, halfway lift, push into your shins or tops of thighs as you pull your thigh bones back. Reach the crown of your head forward, out over the edge of your mat. Big breath in here. Draw that energy into the heart. Exhale, let it all go. Fold in over the legs, bend and straight. Let the head go heavy here. A little shake, yes and no. Wiggle the jaw. Stick your tongue out. Nobody's watching. All right, big bend in the knees. Press into your heels. Press into your toes, and start to draw that energy up from the earth into your legs. Slow as you can go. Roll shoulders up, back, and down. Reach those fingertips out nice and wide. Take the hips a little bit more forward. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. As tall and as long as you can make your torso. Press into your feet. Lift up in your fingertips. Feel the crown of your head light, lifted. Nice long spine here. Nice deep breath into the chest. Exhale, palms to heart center, slide it down nice and slow, and just nestle your thumbs right at your breastbone. Close the eyes for a moment. Just observe. Feel that energy that we're starting to build, start to cascade down into your heart, all the way back down into your feet and back down into the earth. All right, we're going to do a progressive sequence here. So we're going to build each time we go through. We're going to add on a little bit more. It might get a little bit intense, so listen to your body. Rest if you need to. Only do what feels good. So if you want to kind of stay on that level one, you can do that. If you want to add on, that's an option as well. If you want to go back into that child's pose, regain that cycle of breath, regain that rhythm, go ahead and do so. All right. Top of the mat. Let's go ahead and inhale, lift it up nice and tall. Deep breath in. Sinking that breath and move. Exhale, swan dive down. Focus on your transitions here. Just moving that mat. Halfway lift, thighs back, crown forward. Deep breath in. Exhale, reaching forward. Plant those hands. Big step back, one leg and then the other. Pause and plank for one breath. Deep breath in. Exhale, push back down. Left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Really press out through that heel. Extend that leg out as much as you can as you push the mat away. Then go ahead and bend that knee. Just let that heel fall over to the side. So an open hip there. Let the weight of that heel open up that hip crease. Big breath into the pelvis here. Inhale, square the leg back off. Deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to send it all the way up towards the hands. Stop short. You need to work it back up. Go ahead and do so. We're going to drop into a low lunge. Untuck the back toe. Set yourself up. Drop down into the hips. Start to lift up in that heart space. Inhale. Fingertips up. Create length and extension. Create space for that breath. Big inhale here. Press into your big toe on the front. Press into the top of the foot on the back. Inhale. Exhale. We're just going to cactus the arms. A little gentle back bend here. Open that heart space. One more breath in. Exhale. Fingertips come down. Tuck that back toe. Pop the back knee up. Start to draw energy up into that front leg, crescent lunge. Kind of bend into that back knee, reposition the back foot if you need to. You don't want to be on a little tight rope, right? So feet about hip width distance. Stable. Hold the back knee up and in, press out through the heel. So nice firm back leg. Inhale, lift it up. Breath in here. Cactus the arm. Open the heart. Pull the elbows down towards the ribs. Challenge here. Draw on the inner thigh sort of up and in. More breath. Inhale, lift up. Going to drop the back heel. Warrior two. Check in with those thighs or the knees sort of rolling in towards each other. You want to open everything up in that pelvis here. Back foot equal with the back edge of the mat. And there's a heel to arch alignment. Beautiful. Inhale, lift up a little bit more. Exhale, sink down into that front leg. But flip that top arm. Big scoop up across the sky, reverse warrior. Slide the hand down the back leg or maybe alongside the back, sink back into that front. One more breath. Exhale. Windmill the hands down. Turn the toes. Big step forward or a couple little ones. Halfway lift. Exhale. Then those knees root to rise, nice and slow. Lift up. Exhale, palms back to the heart center. All right, we'll shift our weight over into that left leg. Bend the knees so you kind of have a little bit of give in it. Start to draw the right knee up and in towards the chest. Gentle balance. Gaze soft. Maybe you want to extend the leg out. Maybe not. Maybe you're just in a little kickstand. Find your spot. Find your balance. One more breath. Exhale, let it go. Give it a little shake out. Okay. Set up. Second side. Now you know what's coming. Here we go. Inhale, lift up, nice and tight. Exhale, send you forward and down. Halfway lift. Breath, sinking with movement. Exhale, forward. Plant those hands. Big step back. Plank pose for a breath. Push back, downward facing dog. One cycle of breath. Don't worry about trying to keep up with your neighbor, what anybody else is doing. Find the shape that works for you and the speed that works for you. Right leg up and back. Stack and open up the hips. Big breath into that pelvis. Let that heel go heavy. Inhale, square the hips off. Leg goes up. Exhale, send it forward. Push that mat away as much as you can to create space for that foot, that knee to sort of come up and in and land down. Lower back down, low lunge, second side. Start to come up kind of wonky in these shapes. Reset the foundation. Inhale, lift up nice and tight. Exhale, cactus. Stay for one breath. Exhale, release. Tuck the back toes, set yourself up, crescent lunge, second side. Draw the energy up into that front leg. Firm up the thigh. Sink into the back leg. Press out through that heel. Pull the back knee up and through. Lifting up in the top of the body, sinking in the lower half of the body. Inhale, add the arms, only an option. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, back up. Turn and drop the back heel, warrior two, second side. Check in with those thighs. You want them nice and opened up. Kind of roll your thighs open. Inhale, lift in your torso. Exhale, sinking your hips. Moving the matter, nice and slow, almost like you're moving through water. Nice big turn up across the sky. First warrior, sink into that front knee. Big breath through those ribs. Feel the hands down. Turn, step forward. Halfway lift. Just wiping the slate clean. Go through this halfway fold. Exhale, fold back down. Bend those knees, nice and slow, root to right. Breath in at the top. Exhale, slide it down, pause. Feel that energy bouncing around in the body, in your heart space, in your throat. Let it settle. Down through your belly, down through your ribs and your hips. Relax the legs all the way back down. Let it return back to the earth. Just observing, notice how the body feels. Notice how the mind hopefully is starting to quiet. Let that ego dissolve. Feel that energy moving through the body. Letting the breath guide you along the way. All right, second time through, here we go. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward. Right the hands, big step back, plank pose. Modify by lowering knee down if you need to. Stay for a breath. Push back, down. Left leg up and back. Open up those hips. Weight of that foot feel even heavier than the first time. Starting to open up, kind of turning. Deep breath into the pelvis. Inhale, square your legs back off, your hips back off. Exhale, you're going to send it forward. This time you're going to go knee to nose. Press the mat away, bring your knee in towards your nose. Inhale, take it back. Another breath in, exhale, knee to nose. Find space for that foot to land. Drop into that low lunge seconds. Set your foundation, nice and strong. Inhale, lift it up. Breath in. Exhale, catch. Stay here. If you like to add on, reaching back, you can just slide the hands to the back or interlace the palms or knuckles. Draw knuckles down, open up the heart space, deepen the back bend a little bit more. Also just be here at heart center. So whatever, as we go through the sequence, is calling to you, follow that breath. One more cycle. Release the arms, fingertips down, tuck the back toe, pull the back knee up, working your way up to crescent lunge, nice and slow. Again, make sure you're not on that little tight rope. Keep out hip width distance, build the foundation. Inhale, lift up if you like, or palms to heart center. Exhale, cactus. All right. Adding on here, we're going to lean forward as you roll shoulders back, reach your fingertips back towards your heels, and reach the crown of your head forward, kind of like a skier's lunge. Active in those fingertips. Keep the body, the lower half of the body where it is. Extend the arms up and out, reaching up and out. Keep the belly engaged, but you're breathing. Back up. Drop the back foot. Warrior two. Oh, warrior two can feel so good. All right, take a little breath here. Settle. Sink into that lunge. Nice and slow. Reverse warrior. Big circle up and back. Sink into that front knee. Stay for a breath. Extended side angle. So elbow to knee in the front. Before you start to sink into it, pull that back shoulder, the top shoulder back. So you open up the chest here. Extend the fingertips up and out. Make sure you're not sinking into that neck. Create some space between the shoulder. Belly working here. Breathing. Going to take that arm in front of the face and then extend it out over the ear. Nice line of energy from the back edge of your back foot all the way up through your ribs, out through the fingertips. One more breath. Look down at that front foot. We're going to turn the back foot and just take a big step forward. Exhale. Nice and slow. Deep breath at the top. Exhale back to center. Pause. Let it settle. Relax the belly. The heartbeat, settle back into the chest. Energy. Settle in the corners of the body that need it emotionally, physically. All right, one more breath here. Nice, slow exhale out. Release, give it a little shake out. If you need a quick drink, go ahead and do that. And set up for that second side. Everybody feeling okay?
Great. Yeah.
Just got a couple thumbs up. We're just gonna lay around after all that turkey and pie stuff. Man. We gotta move a little bit today. You all right back there, Danae?
Yep.
All right.
Good.
All right.
Nice turnout today.
Yeah. This weather's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that's why I live here. It's hard to remind ourselves that in the summer.
Oh yeah.
All right. Drop down through those feet. Spread the toes nice and wide. Anchor down. Lift up in your crown. Inhale, lift up. Breath and movement working together. Send it down. Halfway. Thighs back. Round forward. Flat spine. Big breath. Exhale. Those hands. Big step back. Plank pose. Modify plank. Knees down if you need to. Otherwise, we'll meet in down dog. Right leg goes up and back. Press out through that heel. Let's go ahead and open up that hip. Big breath into the belly. Square the hips back off. Right leg high. Deep breath in. Knee to nose. Press them out. Far away. Inhale, take it back. One more time. Knee to nose. Let the foot land. Drop into the low lunge. Set your foundation nice and slow. Inhale brings you up. Practice those up. Stay here. Palms to heart center if you like. Maybe just palms to the back so you can sink into the supported back bend. You want a little bit more. Knuckles draw down. Chest opens up. Lift up in your heart space. Shaking, little balance, fall out of it, just work back into it. One more breath. Exhale, release. Fingertips down. Tuck the toes, back knee up, crescent lunge. Nice and slow. Set the foundation. Not on that tightrope. It's a little harder at the park too. That soft ground. Inhale, lift up if you like. Cactus if you like. Deep breath in here. Lean forward. Roll shoulders back. Reach back towards those heels. Lean forward in the crown of your head. Bring as much energy from the back foot all the way out through the crown of your head. Stay here in the hips. Reach the arms forward and up. Big breath in. Lift up. Drop the back heel. Down in the hips. Lift up in the foot. First warrior, nice and slow. Extended side. Take your time. Elbow to knee. Roll that top shoulder to open the chest up. Deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Down at the front foot, just let the hands come down, turn the back heel up, step it forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, nice and slow. Back towards heart center. We totally forgot our balance on the other side. We're going to start to shift our weight, draw the knee up and in. Gaze soft. Maybe extend the foot out. Maybe arms go up. Maybe not. Maybe you've got 2 feet on the ground. Let it go. Shift it all up. One more cycle, guys. You guys are doing great. Class is usually a little slower. I was like, we're going to turn it up. Start at the top of the mat. One more time. Each side. Here we go. Inhale, lift. Send you down. Exhale, drop down. Big step back. Like pose for a breath. Look back, down dog. Left leg up and back. Open and stack those hips. A little quicker now. Inhale, square the hips on. Big breath in. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale back. Then we're going to go knee over to the left elbow. Extend that leg out, maybe kick the leg out, maybe not. Shaking is good. Send it back. Big breath in. Exhale, knee to nose, send that leg forward. Low lunge. Maybe you'll never come to my class. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, cactus those arms. Stay there, take the bind if you like. Drop it down, lift up in that chest. It's actually a little easier each time through because you start to open up. All right. Stay here, or if you like a little bit more, we're going to go left arm up and slide the right hand down the back leg. Lift up and just look back towards the leg and see if you can see it. So a little back bend twist. Any sharpness in the back, come out of it. As hard as it's going to get for now. Exhale, release. Palms down. Tuck those toes. Start to bring it up. Press it low. This is the last time on this side. Now lift it up. Reach it back. Take that runner's lunge. Reach forward. Scoop down. Rather than water, we were doing this last week. Lift it all the way back up. Back behind. Inhale, lift up. Drop that back heel. Warrior 2. First warrior, nice and slow. Moving through water. Moving that energy, stirring the mat. Extended side. Get that arm up in front of the face. Reach up over the ear. Pause for a breath. Core strength brings you back up. Going to straighten that front leg. So we're going to pull and put a little dip in that front hip. Reach forward, extend forward as much as you can. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Hand to shin, hands to block here. I didn't really cue a lot of block work because we're moving so fast, but the blocks are there if you need them. All right, one more breath here in this pose. Release, bend back into the front knee. Gonna windmill hands down, turn the toe, big step forward. Almost there, halfway there. Wipe the face. Exhale back. Rise, nice and slow. Breath and movement. Once the heart center. Shift the weight over to that left leg. Go balance here. Easy, buddy. All right, see if we can get into a little tree here. fall out of it, just kind of settle back down, root down, find your center. Knee comes out to the side, maybe just right on the calf here. It's not on the knee joint, maybe up and in. You can also just be down in a little kickstand here. So wherever you are, keep the gaze soft. Last on this side of the seat. Throw those arms up and out. Feel the opening in the body. Feel the prana. Feel the energy. Gently let it go. Wow, wonderful job. One more side. Slow it all down. Do a nice stretchy cool down. This is hard for me too. I didn't do any yoga since then too. So. Woo! All right, here we go. Last side. Timmy's in terrible shape.
Yeah.
Deep breath in. Johnny's been doing it every day. Exhale forward. Exhale, drop it. Big step back, plank fold. Push it back, down dog. Right leg up to the sky, stacking, open those hips. Inhale, square off the hip. Exhale, knee to nose. Push the mat away. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. It's the urban part of our urban yoga. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, send it all the way forward. Low lunge. Don't take God. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Take the bind if you like. You want a little bit more. Left hand goes to the back side, right arm goes up. Then go back there, look back with that. So let it go. Tips down. Pop that back knee up. Press and lunge, nice and slow. Last time through. So. Reach forward with that crown, roll shoulders, reach back. Reach it up. Big scoop all the way down to the water, up over the head. Inhale, lift. Drop the heel. Open in the hip, open in the thigh. Warrior. Big reverse all the way across that side. Side in. Arm in front of the face, up over the ear. Stay with it, keep the breath moving. For strength, bring yourself back up. Keep that hip. Straighten the legs. Forward. If you need a little bend in that knee, you can have it. Slide the palm to the chin and keep that top shoulder spun back. Let's go. Nice, easy cycle of breath. And do that front knee, look down, step forward. Halfway, nice and slow, don't rush it. Fold down and in. Take a moment here, kind of wiggle the hips, move it side to side. Wrap drops at elbows, draw them down. Let the weight of your head just go heavy here. Right, press into those heels, root to rise, nice and slow. Breath in at the top. Back to heart center. Soften the knees, a little balance. Get the weight into the right leg. Draw that knee up. Kind of start in a little kickstand. Find your gaze, find your center point. Maybe opening up the knee to the side. Connecting that foot to the inner calf. Thigh. not on that knee joint. Below the hand if you like. Nice, soft, easy breath. Let everything go. Wow, wonderful. All right, great job, everybody. Let's take a nice wide stance. If you want to turn that way and be on your mat length way as you can. If you want to just be on the grass, that's fine too. Toes out, or toes in, heels out, sorry. Kind of soften the knees. This is not about locking out the knees or really getting into the hamstrings. This is just going to be a little bit more about slowing everything kind of down. Take the arms out nice and wide. This big starfish pose. Press your hips slightly forward. Little bend in your low back. Gaze goes up and out. Deep breath in. Nice, slow breath out. Stay in this pose. One more breath into the chest. Fingertips come to those hip creases. Pull your hips back, back, back. Thighs back. Reach your head out and over the edge of your mat. Pause for a cycle of breath here. On the exhale, start to hinge and fold down. You can bring your blocks along if you like. Again, bend in the knees if you need to. Not about locking out the knees or stretching those hamstrings. Just want the weight of your head to feel heavy here. Again, feel that energy settle. Moving through the body. Back down into the earth. Connect and ground yourself. Whatever is touching the ground, feel that connection point. Just let your head relax, your neck, your jaw, throat. Take a nice big breath into the back, into the kidneys, into the side rib. Start to slow everything down into some of these stretches. Start to lengthen out that breath a second or two longer than when you were moving. Gentle breath, but a little bit slower, a little bit deeper. Just feeling that breath cleanse, renew. Take the hands in front of the face. We're just going to come up halfway. So either hands on a block or just in front of the face. Come up halfway. Take a big breath in here. We're going to take the right hand in front of the face, either on block or to the ground. Press into the heel of that hand and start to spin and turn and stack those shoulders up. Bend in the knees if you need to. Again. Reach up out of those fingertips. Ground down in that opposite hand. Big breath in. Exhale, release. Back to center. Switch side. One more cycle of breath. Exhale, let it go. Back to center. We're going to start to heel toe the feet in towards each other. And then just bend the knees, start to come down, reach kind of back behind yourself, come all the way down once you exhale. Woo. Okay, wonderful. Legs go nice and long out in front of you. Give them a little bit of shake out, back and forth, bounce the thighs, relax those knees, relax the quads. Roll shoulders up and back, palms alongside the hips. Press out through your heels, flex the toes, and draw them back down towards you. You want to be in front of those sit bones, so not back on our tail. So maybe just a little wiggle of those hips side to side. You can reach, grab, and move the thighs back out of the way. Press into your tops of your thighs. Drop in your hips, lift up in your crown. What's rooting, what's reaching in the body. You can Simple pose is a seated pose, staff pose. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. Deep breath in here. Reach it forward, fold in over those legs, bend into the knees if you need it. Just going to do that a few times. So sinking breath with movement. Hands come alongside thighs. Lift it up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, let it go. One last time. I think Kristen says, smell the roses, blow out the candles. All right, stay down here in a little fold for a minute. Wiggle those hips a little bit more. One more breath. Start to walk back. Gonna bend the knees. Actually, let's take right leg out in front of you, cross left ankle over knee. Taking my sides right here. And then we're gonna bend that right knee and start to bring it up. You're gonna feel a little stretch on that outer hip. So you can take this as much or as little as you want. You can also lift up your hips, kind of bump your hips forward. Oh, hello, that's gonna definitely intensify that stretch. So obviously the further that foot comes in, the more on that hip you're gonna feel. So you can be out here, you can be in here. Just kind of breathe into that space, maybe a little wiggle side to side. Right. We're gonna go ahead and bring that front heel or front foot over to the outer hip. And reach underneath that left leg. Kind of bring it back up and in. You can also just be on the outside, get a little bit of rock, a little bit more of an opening. Lifting up in our chest, so we're not rounding down. Pull it in, using that leverage to lift up in your crown, lift up in your heart space. Extend that leg out in front of us. Grab underneath the thigh here, activate. Again, as you pull in here, lift up in your chest, pull your low back in. Maybe you're kind of reaching up to calf. Maybe there's a foot available. Maybe not. Maybe never. Press out through that heel. Lift up. Want a little bit more. Take that left hand to the outer edge of the foot or the thigh. Reach back. Take a little mini push. Keep breathing. Back to center. One last little push out through that heel. Lift up. Exhale, let it go. Straighten the legs back out. Give it a shake out. Second side. Right ankle over left knee. Roll shoulders back. Bend into that foot. Start to bring it in any degree as you can. Maybe lift up in the hips, kind of bump them forward a little bit more. Also speak sort of down here, wherever you find that intensity kind of growing, find your edge. The breath nice and steady. We'll take that left foot, bring it, fold in as a little kickstand. Bring that heel kind of tucked in, gives you a little bit more support from the hip. And start to extend. Oh yeah, rock the baby. What about this baby? Have two babies, right?
Twins.
Yeah.
Twins.
Oh. Baby, or they say talk on the telephone. Extend it out nice and long. Lift up in the chest, press out through that heel. Maybe work it up a little bit more. Grab a hold of whatever you can. Strap is a great option here as well, or towel, blanket. Press out, lift up in your chest. Want to intensify, go to the outer edge of either foot, leg, a little twist back. One more breath. Back to center. Press out through that heel, active in the toes. Let it go, guys. All right, let's take the feet out nice and wide. This time, come onto your tail. So before we're trying to get in front of the tail, you want to kind of be back on that tailbone. You're lifting up in the chest, so we're not sinking in. And then just let those knees go side to side. Oh, nice and easy. As the knees drop, kind of rolling that top hip. So you can even bring your hand over there and just give it a little bump over. So you're kind of rolling that thigh inward. As you drop over, roll thigh inward, hip goes down and in. Really good. All right. Let's let them fall over to the right. Press into the backhand, lift up in your chest before you take this twist. So we don't want to be rounded or trying to twist. Lift up in your chest as high as you can, as high as you can get in your crown. Take that left arm and start to spin it back, up and around, feet back. Big breath into the ribs here. Twist a little bit deeper on that exhale. Next inhale, back off a little bit. Lift back up. Then exhale, twist back. One more breath. Right hand, unwind yourself from top all the way back down. Gently, knees over to the other side. Back hand behind you, press into it. Lift up. Lift in your chest. Lift in your crown. And then spin it back. Reaching back. Back off a little bit on the inhale. Lift up. Exhale, push back. Unwind from the crown of your head into your shoulders, all the way back down into hips. Right. Let's go ahead and drop it onto our back. Wonderful job, everybody. Draw the knees up into the chest. Let your shoulder blades nestle down, kind of relax against the earth. Pull your knees up into your chest, pull your tailbone back down towards the earth so you feel a nice stretch through your low back. Feel the tops of your thigh bones kind of working around in the hip socket. All right. Let's go ahead and let the feet come down, knees stay bent. Just going to cross the right foot over. Turn this way so you can probably hear me better. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. We're going to reach through and thread that needle. So a little reverse vision here. Hips should be feeling hopefully nice and open here. So a little roll and rock side to side. And again, as we sort of bring that knee in, the tailbone likes to pop up. So pull your tailbone back down and intensifies the stretch just a little bit more. One more breath here. We're going to take the right knee and just cross it over the left knee as much as you can get it, right? Everybody's hips are a little different. So we're trying to stack the knees up. Feet come out kind of left and right. You can reach for the outer edges of the feet, kind of pull them out in opposite directions. You might be grabbing the ankles. You might be grabbing the calf. Again, tailbone's coming up, so pull tailbone back down, a little rock side to side. Slowing everything down. Keep that breath moving. Stay connected to that guide. One more breath here. Exhale, unwind, release, do whatever you need to do. Bring a little bit of movement back into those hips. Bounce the tailbone, whatever feels good. feet back down, knees are bent. We're just going to set it for the other side. So left ankle across right knee. Go ahead and thread the needle through. One side always a little bit different, easier or more challenging. Pull that tailbone back down, rock back and forth. Take the stretch as easy or as intense as you like. One more cycle here, nice and slow. Right, slowly guide that left knee over right knee. Stacking up as much as you can. Grab for whatever you can, the outer edges of those feet, ankles. Draw them out to the edges of the mat. Draw that tailbone back down. Pull the knees up and in. Breathe into the belly. Breathe into the stretch. One more cycle here, nice and slow. Ready, slowly start to unwind yourself. If there's anything else that calls to your body right now, maybe you want to make it a happy baby. It's an inversion you'd like to take. It's whatever you need to do before you start to settle into some stillness, go ahead and take that now. Lots of variations. Just any last bits of movement that you need to do. Fidget. Let the energy settle. When you're ready, find a shape where you can settle in. Let the legs go long out in front of you. Bring the feet out to the edges of the mat. Let the toes just fall outward. Palms can face up or face down. Maybe one hand on heart, one on belly, wherever you can just feel that energy starting to settle. I'm thinking as like waves of the ocean coming up, reaching out, settling in, and then just pulling back down into that body of water. As you just settle into this shape, enjoying the benefits of our practice, going back to that perspective of how tiny we are, how small we are, and we think we're all just these separate beings, but we're just connected to something such large scale that is this universe. Take a moment and sort of picture yourself above, out of your body, as if you're a bird flying overhead, looking down on yourself, letting the ego dissolve and the sense of self dissolve. Just seeing yourself from above, part of something much larger. Let yourself kind of settle into that energy field and allow me to call you back in a few. Right, everybody, start to gently just deepen that breath, focus back in the body. Take your hands over your heart, do a tap on your chest, go to the sides of your throat and into the jaw. Wiggle that jaw, raise your eyebrows, moisten your lips. Reach those fingertips back up overhead. Take the ankles, slide them towards each other, flex and draw the toes out over the edge of your mat. Wonderful day to be alive. Deep breath into the heart here. Nice slow exhale. Draw those knees back into the chest. Just give yourself a final squeeze. Maybe bring your nose up into your knees. And when you're ready, roll off to one side and just take a moment there. Pause with a hand on the earth. Feel that connection. Feel that groundedness. Reading something the other day that said the Latin root of the word humble means to be as low to the ground as possible. I never knew that. Feel that humbleness, groundedness, connection. When you're ready, keep the gaze soft or your eyes closed and make your way up to a comfortable seat, nice and slow. Take one more moment to feel the body come into alignment as you drop that weight in your hips and tail, light and lifted in your crown. Feel that head line over the heart and heart over those hips. Deep breath in and reach those fingertips out nice and wide. Bring that gaze up. Draw that energy in. Exhale. Bring it down into your heart space. Take a moment, thank yourself. The best that you can do is participate in your self-healing, exploration, and self-care. Always an honor for me to join you in this practice. Like-minded people, this wonderful community, sharing this practice of yoga. Stir that prana. Take that prana with you, share it back out into the world, back out into the universe, however you choose. Namaste. Thank you so much. Have a great day. See you next week. Thank you.